brother, I love your condescending laughs. I love them because this is what I do to you guys. When you have your condescending laughs, I demolish you guys. When I actually take you to the papers, I smash you cats. So let's find out who's laughing at the end of this, okay?
A few moments later.
You dancing, bro. Go get your shoes on, get your tap shoes on, because now you're dancing. It's kind of funny how you went from laughing condescendingly to now you're dancing and you can't answer simple questions. If you want the carbon-14, I can't give you one over them finding carbon-14 in it because the secular scientists don't do it. But if you would like me to give you a peer-reviewed on the DNA, I can absolutely do that, where they're finding DNA fragments inside of dinosaurs, and that's even worse for you than carbon because DNA has a half-life of 527 years. So if you like that, I can absolutely play that game with you because it's the peer-reviewed scientist.
Would imply that the Earth is less old than you think it is, though.
No, it would imply that dinosaurs lived a lot less than 65 million years ago.
If
dinosaurs living
is
4,500 years ago has nothing to do with the age of the Earth.
What percentages are they finding in them?
Very small. Very small.
What percentage?
They don't put a percent on it. In the paper, they don't put a percent
so they
on
found like one piece of DNA?
Well, they don't. It's one piece of DNA. DNA is a strand, so I don't know what you mean by one piece. But
like one AG pair.
It wouldn't matter if they're finding DNA. It can't be there. I like how you guys are like, oh, it's just a small amount. Yes, it is. I never said it was dripping with blood. It's a very small amount of DNA, which is fit our prediction. 4,500 years ago, you shouldn't find but anything but just fragments of DNA. 65 million years ago, you shouldn't be able to find any DNA. Not small amounts, any DNA. The half-life is 527 years. There's no way for it to go. It goes from a half, then it goes to a quarter, then it goes to an eighth, a 16th, a 32nd, a 64th. It never gets to
zero.
Well, technically it never gets to zero, but you can't find any of it past 65 million years, clearly.
Okay, I would love to see this paper of finding dinosaur DNA.
Sure.
I would also suspect that paper proposes why the dinosaur DNA is in there. Did you read it?
Yep.
Does it propose why the dinosaur DNA is in there?
Yep. And when you go to that paper, the paper says this is not the reason. So evidence of proteins, chromosomes, brother, I love your condescending laughs. I love them because this is what I do to you guys. When you have your condescending laughs, I demolish you guys. When I actually take you to the papers, I smash you cats. So let's find out who's laughing at the end of this, okay?
The last paper you tried to give me was Answers in Genesis. I don't...
Okay, let's see if you're still laughing after this, okay?
Please.
The name of the paper is Evidence of Proteins, Chromosome, and Chemical Markers of DNA in Exquisitely Preserved Dinosaur Cartilage 2020. Doctor's name is Mary Schweitzer. She's also the same one that found dinosaur soft tissue.
All right. Found the paper. Okay. And what are you saying that's in this paper? There is DNA strands?
They're finding the chemical marker, or they're finding the chemical markers of DNA. Yep. And so it literally states in the abstract here, the data supporting hypothesis that calcified cartilage is for this is where they demineralized it. You wasn't aware of this, but what they do is they demineralize the bone, and then that's what the soft tissue is. Levels in Mesozoic material and suggests that the remnants of once living, I'm not going to try to say that word, I'm going to mess it up, including their DNA, may be preserved for millions of years. So the paper literally starts off in the abstract telling you that they believe that their DNA is being preserved for millions of years. Now, the problem is obviously we know what the half-life of DNA is. So just because you believe it, I don't care. You can continue to read on in the paper, but it literally states that they use two chemical markers, PI and DAPI. It's not one, but two different methods in an effort to these chemicals react in the presence of DNA. And for you to get a reaction out of the DNA, it has to be at least 6 base pairs in length and double helix. That's a DNA strand. And it literally states that they argue that this not only supports that the compounds within the cells is chemically consistent with DNA, but the material is double-stranded and at least a minimum base pairs of 6. It's dinosaur in origin. And they go on to tell you that this contamination is not a plausible explanation in this case. And to this date, the possible preservation of original proteins and DNA in deep time has not been convincingly eliminated with data. So they're finding the DNA inside of this dinosaur, brother. They're not sequencing. It's not a lot, but it is DNA. If you're looking for the mechanism, go down to the bottom of the conclusion and look at the last words. That'll give you the mechanism that they believe is the mechanism that I'm going to help you out. Cross-linking it may be another mechanism.
What, DNA staining? Yeah.
Well, that's not that's how they found it, is the stain. The mechanism they're claiming that gets it to last for 65 million years is at the bottom of the conclusion.
But that's a DNA stain versus finding DNAs. You understand that's different claims, right?
You understand that the paper is literally claiming that they found DNA, although the extensive research and sequencing is required.
They claims it found DNA?
Everything I just read to you. You can go to the conclusion. The conclusion right here. In the middle of it, it says contamination, because a lot of people is going to say that the markers are reacted to contaminated. It's DNA, but it's contaminated. So it literally says that contamination is not a plausible explanation in this case, and the data supports the preservation of original proteins and DNA. So it's not DNA markers, it's DNA. Now, the next sentence right there actually says that they have to go on. Further research is required to sequence it. And I would agree with you that they have not sequenced it. That's not my claim. I never claimed that they're sequencing this stuff. My claim is that they found DNA. That's what this paper's clearly showing you. Mm-hmm. And then it says, right, like I said at the bottom, we propose that the DNA. So if, again, this paper is clearly calling it DNA, and then they give a mechanism as to why they think that what could preserve it for 65 million years.
Okay. And why should I have a problem with this?
Because now I can take you to a separate paper that shows the DNA rates of decay within the dinosaurs. If you like, I can take you to that one, and it shows that the half-life is 527 years, meaning that it cannot last to 65 million years. So if they're finding it in dinosaur bones that are 65 million years old, then you either have to, A, have a preservation method that gets it out there, or B, it's not 65 million years old, right?
Well, most of the bones aren't bones anymore. They're turned to stone.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that insight. So, again, let me ask you this again. If you're finding DNA in dinosaur bones that are supposed to be 65 million years, and we know what the half-life is, you only got two options. I just want to make sure we agree with this. Either one option is you have to have a mechanism that gets the decay rate out to 65 million years, or two, the dinosaurs didn't live 65 million years ago, right? That's the two options we agree on, right?
A method that extends the decay rate? I wouldn't agree with that exact wording. But generally, the idea is, yeah, sure.
It's either going to be you have a method that gets the DNA out to 65 million years, or the dinosaurs didn't live 65 million years ago. Right?
For this specific paper, there's multiple options. I would say
Man,
there's
you
also a third
dancing, you
option.
dancing, bro. Go get your shoes on, get your tap shoes on, because now you're dancing. It's kind of funny how you went from laughing condescendingly to now you're dancing and you can't answer simple questions.
I can laugh
Clearly, if we
condescendingly
know
at you more
what,
if you
yeah,
like
you,
it,
yeah,
but-
you. Oh, yeah, bro. Please, I'm eating it up. You're gonna make my highlight reel. So now you can't even answer simple questions because it's like you're scared
Yes,
to death,
when you
like you're
talk
gonna
over
get
me, it
trapped.
is quite hard to answer simple questions.
Well, how about you just answer the simple questions?
I was, and then you talked over me.
Okay, so let's go again. Just make sure, because I don't want to move on
Inclusions
from
is
this.
also a viable method. This paper claims that there weren't inclusions, but they could be wrong. That's also a viable method to get that DNA there.
Okay, but it literally states that contamination is not plausible in this one. So contamination is not going to help you out.
Did you listen to what I said?
Yes, the inclusions would allow in contamination, right? That's the point. The inclusions would allow in contamination, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when the paper says it's not plausible, you just saying, no, it's plausible doesn't help you out none, right?
Did you hear what I said? I said
Yeah.
they could just be wrong. That is plausible.
Nuh-uh. Yeah, so your argument now is nuh-uh. Congratulations. Nuh-uh.
I can't believe the fucking creationist is saying that to me. But what's it called? I mean, I don't know. I haven't read the peer reviews on this paper. There could be peer reviews that look at their methods and say, "Hey, you missed this one thing. There was actually contamination."
This lady's got a pretty good track record. She's the one that also found dinosaur soft tissue when they called her a kook over that 20 years ago. And now that's commonplace.
Yeah, that's how science works. It changes and adapts. That's the beauty of science.
Yeah,
when we
except
find new
here's
evidence, we change our conclusions.
It sounds good, except you're finding evidence. Number one, the soft tissue evidence was found over 20 years ago. This also proves that it can't last 65 million years ago, but they're still claiming that they're 65 million years. So should we, A, go with the testable and observable science that clearly says the decay rates of collagen and the decay rates of DNA cannot get these things out to 65 million years, so therefore they didn't live 65 million years ago? Or should we go with column B and just say, well, I believe it by faith because I need dinosaurs to live millions of years ago? Which one of those should we go with? Testable and observable
when you set up a
science
false
or
dichotomy
inference?
like that, I can't possibly pick either answer.
Okay, so how is it false?
Because
Do we know the
people-
decay rates of collagen?
The decay rates of collagen? No, you were talking about blind faith when you're talking about.
I'm asking you
preferring
just now,
evidences.
like
There's a
as far as
difference.
scientific papers, do we know the decay rates of collagen? Like, have we done tests and know the decay rates of collagen and the decay
I don't
rates of DNA?
know. What?
Okay, we done it on. We'll stay on DNA. Do we know the degradation rates of DNA?
Yeah.
Okay, so we know the degradation rates of DNA. We know that the half-life is 527 years. This is the half-life. So it cannot go out to 65 million years. Do you still believe that dinosaurs are 65 million years old?
Yes, because there's
Who's
more
going off of the
evidence.
faith?
So there's more. I've read more papers talking about the age of dinosaurs than this one